Hello, welcome to the first X-Wing Exposed. Bit of a nightly thing that we're going to do every Wednesday. Just a bit of a chill out, paint some stuff, X-Wing, maybe 40k, bits and pieces we've got on the table. Have a chat with you lot, friends, stuff like that. Just someone to keep company, sort of thing. Few bits that we've got today. Got a couple of ships that I want to start working on. New bits and pieces. Want to basically put them on the table for myself and give them a go. But I want them painted, so there are a couple of bits to do. I've got a job of some Tyranids to finish off. The bases need finishing and a couple of highlights. I've got some containers that need finishing. Just a little bit of airbrush on them to finish them off, neaten them up. And as I said, we're going to do a prize giveaway, so I'm going to try and get a dial cover done during the show, and then over the next couple of days, people who leave a like or a comment on the video, I will stick all your names into a hat and you'll get the finished dial cover at the end of it. So, any questions, just drop them in the chat. I should pick them up. If not, I apologise. So to start off, I'm just going to get some of the Tyranid stuff done while people are turning up. I know I've got a couple of mates that said they were going to pop on a bit later on, so let's do some bits. I need to do the dry brushing into the bases. Light grey. Cheers, James. So I'll swap over. Let's see if this actually works. There we go. Better mood lighting for you, James. So I'm just using Dawnstone Grey. The way I do my dry brushing is post-it note, and I tend to rub off as much as I can on the post-it note just to get a bit more on actually, and then rub it into the bristles, and then there we go. It's just to give the textured base a bit of a finish to it. And yeah, for this sort of work I have to wear glasses. There we go. Actually, don't think that's making much of a difference, so I'll try different. Let's try long beard. I mainly use GW paints, but I do have quite a few different ones. There we go. Let's see if this highlights it a bit better. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that on the close cam. Starting to highlight that. Yep. It's just a quick 2-second job. Got 8 of them to do for someone's kill team. a lot of people use cloths. I just use post-it notes because I've always got post-it notes on my desk. I'll do these and then I'm going to start one of the X-Wing ships, and then I can come back to these during the steps of the X-Wing ships. There we go. I think 2 left after this. You can see it picks the high parts of the grill. What's it? It's Astrogranite. GW's Astrogranite textured paint. And there we go. So they're all done. Quick clean of the brush. Hello Zoe. So I think out of the what to go with. I think I'm going to do the first one I'm going to do will be an advanced, but I'm going to start doing the prize for this evening's. So unfortunately it's a Rebel dial. I don't normally do Rebels, but on this occasion I don't mind giving away Rebel stuff. We have both parts. So what I normally do is when I do a dial cover before I start, I use basically a soft sanding block. I picked them up off Amazon, and it's just one, it takes the burrs off the edge, and two, if you're just light with it, it keys the edge. From the past, when I first started doing these, we had paint come off the edge, so the easiest way to stop it is to key it up a bit, and then a very light one on the face. So it's done. Same on the a bit. There we go. So first thing, need to prime them. I'm going to do them in white. You can use the rattle cans, anything like that. I use Styrenize. It's a water-based, let's have a read. Water-based acrylic polyurethane easy app surface primer. It's basically by Badger. I don't seem to get very many problems with it, so I do that for most of the stuff I paint. I actually decant it into smaller bottles I've got black, grey. They do most colours. There's the light. And airbrush. Yep. So I'll give it a good shake. And don't need much. So a quick test piece of paper. Yep, that's okay. So what I tend to do is have the hex pots from the old GW paints, bit of blue tack or white tack in the top, and it holds it while I paint them or spray them. And I don't know how bad my aim is, as anyone that's played X-Wing against us will know. I best put on a rubber glove. So, hear the compressor kick in, hopefully not too loud. Quite great. On this I will spray on the inside. First, so seconds while I quickly keep a check on. So while that is drying, I'm going to cheat. Hairdryer. Quick blast. Just so the edges dry, so when I put it down it doesn't cause much of a problem. So again, just primer, so I don't really need to be that precise with it. No, I think that's dry a bit. Yeah. Do the underside. It's all good. I'll put it over here to dry out and clean the airbrush quickly. I have a bucket, metal bucket under my desk that I just squirt all of the cleaner into. And an old brush. The airbrush side of things is as quick as that. So we'll come back to that in a bit. So if we're going to do Vader's tie, I'm also going to do a magnetic base for it. So the magnetic bases we do, take one of these, one of them, and a black dome-headed nut. Take the stalk, cut it off, cut the usual part that goes inside the peg there, cuts off, and if you're lucky, it's just the right size to actually screw straight on. I'm using my cutters as a pair of pliers. You then end up with a base like that. So it's just an M3 captive nut in steel, and it sticks pretty well to that. So with that done, what we then have is a tie advanced. So very carefully, you can, if you're lucky, and you hear the crack, you can sometimes just break it. Well, that saved me a bit of trouble anyway. So one of the jobs we were going to do is remove the wings, but they just literally snap off. They are glued in at FFG, so it makes the whole job of drilling and cleaning and painting a lot easier. So the drill set I use are hex drives that go into a very small hobby drill. So 7, 3. stubby drill. And what we do is, where the centre bit goes in, we start a pilot hole with a pin vise and a small drill. If you're lucky enough to get it to come out without leaving part of the peg in there, then it's a lot easier to do this bit. But other than that, it's just drill as central as possible. So you'll feel it go from like a hard plastic to a soft plastic, and it'll push through. So looking at the magnet, that going, maybe a little bit more. So swap over to the bigger drill. You can go up in stages. A lot of people recommend going up in stages. Just double check that's the right size. Yep. And this is the nerve-wracking bit, because you're taking a lot of plastic away from the model. It does help having a sharp drill, a very sharp drill. I've only ever used these on plastic, and I don't use them that often, so it's all they ever get used for. So once you've got the hole in, it hollows a lot of it out quite nicely. Let's see if that goes in. So like guesswork. So that's pretty much in, and works fine. So just quickly clear this away into the bucket. Drill bits away for now. And that's basically, other than a quick bit of super glue. If I can get this back out. Gorilla glue with a brush is absolutely brilliant for this, because you can do it on all the inside of that, and push it back in, and then just push it against something. Goes to that depth, and then any excess super glue, just a quick rub off. And there you have it. And that should dry nicely. A couple of bits of plastic around the edge. And that's it, magnetised. It pretty much holds anywhere on there. So base is done, and now we go back to the airbrush, but I have I need a couple of paint pots. It's still got paint in it. So, again with the airbrush. A bit stronger on the pressure. A lot of people ask whether I strip the models first or whether I just coat straight over or whether I just paint straight on top. I tend to use, I use the Styrenize, the Badger Styrenize airbrush primer, and I use that straight over the top of the original paint. So for this one, the black's a lot thinner on this. So first off, painting round the magnet. Because then using a metal rule, I use the magnet to hold it in place. And then I've got a metal rack up here that I can hang stuff from where needed. So again, just a quick blast on the inside. And run down the pen. While we're on, I want to do all the edge on this one in black. So what we have is thick roller masking tape, low tack. I use it for my decals and masks. Rip a chunk off. Stick the mask down. Let's stick the base down. And it should just stop any going on. It's more in the pot. So a quick change from black to white. There we go. And what we're doing now is I'll use the air from the brush to try and dry the panels on. Just no paint comes through, just a bit of. There we go. Same for the other one. I will eventually get music or whatever in the background, James. It's it's a learning process. I just need to start it off somewhere and see if people are interested in listening or actually painting along. I know a couple of people have mentioned they wouldn't mind coming on as guests, so that might be an option for the near future as well. Maybe just get some of them to sing for you. Everything done. Anyone that knows me will know that that's a brand new cutting mat gone down specially for the show, just before Lewis starts saying anything. A quick blast through with the cleaner again. So a quick way of cleaning is use the cleaner that is specific for your paint, put it in, obviously start it going through, but then if you put a cloth over the end and backwash, all the bubbles go through, it pushes all the paint back out of the nozzle, back up into the pot, which the cleaner then works through. Oh, sorry. Where's that? There. And that cleans it. These are just interim cleans in between what I'm doing now. At the end of the day, I'll give it a good strip and clean down. But in between colours and stuff like that, you can get away with a 30-second quick wash. And put that back under there. Black around the edge, looks pretty good. That's all white. So we have the tide drying nicely. If I don't get any of these finished between now and, well, thinking of doing it for a couple of hours on a Wednesday night. If I don't get anything finished, I will put the X-wings and stuff to one side and continue them on at the next one. Right, give me some rubbish. While I'm waiting for them to dry, I'm going to do a bit of the basing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't put a cam on it at the moment. I have 5 or 6 airbrushes that I constantly use all through the day. Some with finer nozzles on and stuff like that. So I quickly just wash through, quick backwash, make sure the cleaner's in there, and then when it's sat on my rack at the back, I also have a bit of cleaner in it. Just, he says, I'd forgotten. Again, just a couple of drops of cleaner in. The cleaner I use is Badger Miniature. That's because it matches the actual primer. I was told ages ago by, I think it was Steve from Badger UK, when I was starting out, I was having a lot of trouble with blockages and stuff like that, and I was cleaning all the time with Badger, and he actually advised me that if I'm using Vallejo paints, then use the actual Vallejo cleaner, because it's specially formulated for that paint. When I use Badger Minitier or the Styrene Eyes, they both made the same. Again, use that. I've done the same. And I use the Forge World stuff. I have the Forge World solution for cleaning the brush through. It was a bit strange because he showed us what happened, and I actually tried it at home, and some paint crystallises when it comes in contact with a different type of thinner or a different type of cleaner, and that's what was happening. The nozzles in my brushes, when I was cleaning it, when I was cleaning GW paint with Vallejo cleaner, it was blocking them, and it was staying blocked, and I had to basically scrape it out to get it anywhere near. Right, let's have a look. So, I have the white, I have the black in there for now. Obviously that's dry enough to... So, I'm going with one of the colours that I use a lot, which is that. So, I'm going to go for a bit of orange. I need to get the lighting sorted on, so go for it. Try and go for the orange around the edges, and on there a red symbol, and then silver centre where the metalwork is. So one of my no problem. As I said, if you're using any of the water-based paints, it's very hard to ruin your airbrush. When I've forgot or left an airbrush for a couple of days and it has clogged up, I drop it into a ultrasonic bath, just the jewelers ones that you can get from Aldi and places like that for about £20. Drop it into an ultrasonic bath filled with methylated spirits, the blue meth stuff. That, give it about half an hour with the ultrasonic and it's back to normal. It really does work well. So for the edging, look, I even pushed the boat out and got a new tray out for these, and I won't use the edge of my mat like I have been for years. So size 2, just to get the main down. I'm going to use quite a hard paint to get hold of now. It's Solar Orange by Citadel Foundation. These are long out of print, and they're getting harder and harder to find, but I just love the consistency and I love the way it paints. I have quite a decent stock for myself, so just running it around the edge of the brush. It works well, the colour combination works well if you're doing a Poe Dameron type colour, the black and the orange. This orange is perfect for it. And it also, the good thing about the foundation paints is the coverage. You can cover black as much as you can cover the white with these paints, even as much as a single coat tends to do it. So again, around the edges. Again. A little bit finer detail around the bottom edge. And then I'm going to do inside as well. See what I mean about straight over the black that was in there, as if it was just the white. See that? Just the circles. Did I do them? I think I did. I'll continue on and do the circle around the outside as well, which does tend to be a bit more fiddly. These are just quick paint jobs to make your dials stand out on the table, rather than the bog standard colours that you get. They're not meant to be a masterpiece, they're just something that anyone can do. Brush. If anyone was wondering, they are Broken Toad Mark IIs. They're the best brushes I've ever come across. I use the whole range. I've got a couple of the ones so I can jump between colours, but yeah, I love these brushes. The bloke that makes them isn't too bad either. So again, going for foundation, you can use the GW bases of red and yellow, red and orange, just as well as you can use these, and I'll be using the layers afterwards anyway. On the brush. That's the red in the centre. actually what I did forget. The dial centre. I'll push that over there to dry. And we can do the dial centre. Again with the red. And jump back to the orange just to do the edges. Like that, but then I'm going to do the whole side. So back to the big brush. Yeah, Ian, you'll have to give me some Space Wolves then. Then I can do what deserves doing to them. So, basic outline, clean the brush, I'll let them dry. Right, Mr. Vader. So, we have the black. You know I'd look after your Space Wolves, Ian. I wouldn't do anything really bad to them. So, plans are I can show you the basic colour set that I do for my grey ties, which is using Necron compound. I use Citadel's large base brush for this. It's just so soft and works really well. So again, it's a dry brush. Rub as much off as you can. Take the panels and move it backwards and forwards. It doesn't matter if you go too heavy on it, because the next stages will get rid of it. So you have the silver on the raised edges. And again, these are just the basic of basics, just something that you can pick up, have a try of, just to make them look different. Practice with different colours, try different colours, change it up a bit, try it with the gold, dry brush the gold, and then do what we're going to do is a wash over the top of it to try and subdue the silver quite a bit. But you could do exactly the same with the gold. So once the panel's done, so they look quite well weathered. And the cockpit. The cockpit will get more detail on it after the washes. So even just dry brushing, it re-picks up the detail of the... It tries to. Let's see if we can get that. So it picks up the detail of the cockpit really easy. Doesn't take ages of having to fine line each one of them. It's just a quick method to do it. So there we have the bits. What I'm actually going to do, after I clean my brush, is glue it back together. So as you've seen, I already use Gorilla Glue. Obviously it works as a brush or without, but for these cases the brush just tends to work that little bit nicer. So blob in there. Blob in there. So get it into place, get it straight, and then we use Instaset activator. I'll do it away from that one so I don't set that one at the same time. Check the fronts all lined up, and a quick squirt inside there, and that goes hard instantly. Now do the other side. Make sure everything lines up. And just a quick squirt. Now as a quick and cheerful job, that looks like a more black and silver tie than the original ones, but leaving it at that, passable. But the next stages tend to change it a bit. Well, obviously we'll do all of the glass, either in green or red depending on which one, but what I usually do at this point is null and shade, and for this I use it neat. I don't use it watered down for this one. The GW shade brush, and a liberal application. If anyone's seen the my decimators at the moment, they're done in exactly this technique, and then some lighting effects over the top. But my decimators started off as pure silver. They weren't dry brushed, they were actually just silver, and I did 9 coats of Nuln oil over the top of them just to get it. It looks a really deep black metallic. So in the wings, again, and to its base. Coat it all over. You can go as far as you want with it. Once it dries and you see how dark the black has gone, then take it from there. If you want it darker, just do another coat of Nuln. If you go too far, a very, very light dry brush over the top of it, just to pick up more of the detail that it'll have lost a bit. So I'll leave it. Try and straight it up on the magnet, so the pool. If what you've got to watch for is the pooling of the shade. Make sure it just doesn't go into a big blob at the back. Clean the brush. I am going to have to get a new chair because I'm not sure as if you can hear it, but it squeaks like mad all the time. So Nuln. Right, Vader. Back to the wash. Now that's dry, touch dry, I'm using I'm not using that. I'm going to do the metalwork. Now what I want for the metalwork is this entire centre bit in a silver. Now there's a couple of silvers that I like using, but I think for this I'm going to use Skill Colours Thrash Metal. It's a really nice metal to use, and it reminds me more of the old gunmetal grey that GW used to do. So thin it down a bit with some water. Carefully build up there. Metal work. do is add a splash of lamine medium because it looks a bit shiny. That's just lamine medium out of the pots. I just put it into a tub to. There we go. Thinned it out a bit better. It'll go a bit blotchy with the amount that I've thinned it out, but I want it to look like worn metal, used metal. So you can see a little bit patchy. It looks down in here. Leave that to dry. It's got a bit, I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's got a bit of a goldy tinge to it. Again, leave that to dry. I think Vader's settled, so I'm going to try and help him along a bit, just in the interest of time. Hair dry. Like a black, but a warm black. See if we can get a close shot of this. Nope, nearly. So there you go. You get the distressed look of the metal. And it's taken no real time and no real skill. And a little bit more of a dry brush, a very, very light dry brush, and you could pick up some of the bits like these bits here and these bits here. But for what we're doing, I'll leave it at that, and what we'll do is we'll go for doing the front, basically the front window. Now I'm thinking of a red. It's Vader red. So Stormhorse silver. Again, good shake because this does separate. And number one again. Definitely need some water in that. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to. I don't like palettes. I'm gonna use my usual palette of the edge of the board. It's better. It doesn't. It separates a lot on the plastic palette. I'll put some medium in there. Palette so I can get a brush of it. Again, a quick way is just try not to get it on the outer circle. The reason for the Stormhorse, it's one of the brightest silvers. If anyone knows of any even brighter silvers, then I would appreciate it. It's so the clear red or clear green actually shows through it. So let's go with that. Oh, there's a gap down there. I can actually see on the camera better than I can with my eyesight. And then just a little rub. Yep. So look at that. Red. So this does need a good stir. It's probably the worst one for separating because it goes milky and it should be clear. So for such occasions, I have a Badger airbrush stirring stick. So it goes in there. And stirs all the pigment off the bottom. Comes over there in the water. Clean. That should be about dry. Well, close the lid. Big shake. Get some red out. Doesn't need much because it's going to go into all of the gaps. Okay. And then just with your finger very lightly rub off and you get the silver back. A bit extra in the middle. Make sure it gets the orange. So in hand that really does look quite bright. So my usual thing with that would be, once that dries, all the paints I would dab with pure nulling, and that gives it a bit of a dark effect, as if it is a low red light on inside the cockpit. Now, back to this. So once we've done all the paint work to the first stage, we go with Agrax Earthshade, give it a bit of a brown wash. Again, I'm going with the big brush this time. So load the brush and load the dial. So the reason it seems to be flowing a lot better than normal is, if I look at the top, that's a pot of 50/50 Agrax Earthshade and not Nulling Oil, Lamium Medium. So the Lamium Medium's in there to give it a bit of a diluted effect when it washes. If you notice it's coming off a lot of the edges quite easily. Yeah, sorry if the raised areas quite easily. Oh, I forgot to do the little one again. So exactly the same with that. Just quite a liberal coat. One of the reasons for doing the dial and the advanced is, with washes there's a lot of drying time in between, so having it just sat there. So nulling, get the screen done. So a bit different this time, taking a fine detail, number one, to apply the wash, and it's just dab it. Ooh, bit much. So once you've got a bit like that, you can take some of it off, put a bit more in the middle, and it looks like a very diluted low red glow coming from the cockpit instead of the bright light that we've just had. I'll leave those two to dry, and while that's happening I'll have a quick blast around some base edges of some 40k things. It says looking for a brush. So just quickly edging the base. Take a couple of coats. we're doing a job for a gentleman, and we've been doing bits and pieces of his kill team for the best part of a month now. We did his complete set to start with, and then doing gene stealers and dark elves. And what I was going to do, what time is it? 1:15. I still have a little bit of time. I might be able to, if I can get these done now, I can quickly show you something I've been working on, and it's a technique for the airbrush that works really well for engines. Again, a quick way to do a glow effect on an engine. I need to do some keypads, so I'll quickly do these and get the airbrush back out. Number 6. They look a lot better. I think they look better in black. There's a lot of people prefer brown edges on the 40k stuff. I always like the black edge, gives it a bit more definition. Yep. Last one. Quickly over that brush. So what we've got is some containers from Kill Team, and just about here on each of them there is a keypad. So what I'm going to do is a bit of glow using P3's Neckrite Green. Again, through the airbrush, exit that a little bit. Easier to get the glow effect. Turn the pressure down now. And so, because it's P3, it needs a bit of thinning. So, airbrush medium. 2, 3, 4 drops of airbrush medium. And the green. I use a pipette. Should be enough, and then use the pipette to basically mix it with the airbrush medium. Right. And straight off, I know it will. So at first, just the airbrush medium comes out, and then the green. Yep, that's showing up really bright on the camera. So move Vader out of the way. So we're aiming for this patch here. And a bit of a glow around it. It's okay to go a little bit too much because we'll be putting a wash on it, and basically that's what it turns into. This is what I did earlier. So again, it looks a lot brighter on the camera than it actually is in hand. Use the airbrush to dry it. And I've done the usual thing, I've left loads of paint in the brush. So I'll quickly get rid of it. The brush. Turn the pressure button. Pass it through. Now I don't have the P3 cleaner, but what I have learned is the Vallejo works just as well. There we go, cap back on, put it away. Medium, done with. I know a lot of people worry a bit about using airbrushes, but once you've used it and used it and used it, it becomes such a valuable piece of kit to be using. I'd be lost without it. It would take me twice as long to do half the work I do. It was just one of those things that when I eventually did take the dive into it, I didn't realise how much time it would save until I actually started using it. So what we're going to do now is to darken off the back of the keypad and try to keep the front of the keypad light, is just a quick wash. So when that dries, all of the dots of the keys will be raised and the back will go like a black keyboard. That's a bit bright, so feather in and darken it up a bit. A lot of darkening down, so yeah, and leave them to dry. So going back to Vader, as see if we can get it close up. Or not. Yeah. There we go. Vader's cockpit. You could do a little bit of a dry brush to the cockpit. If I was doing it, I'd probably very lightly highlight the top edges, but for what it is, I think that looks pretty good. Since I still have some wet red down here. Two guns. Just give them a little dab of the red. There. Makes them pop a little bit. As I said, for a basic paint job, that's as far as I go for just something basically for myself to make it look different, to match my other ones. My decimators have done the same. I've got some ties the same, but it looks different. And it's not hard to do. So I'll leave that one there. And that's nearly dry. The next one will be, is it Dragon? Where is it? It's Trollslayer Orange. And these are just very light coats, so some medium in there. Mix the medium, and then some almost glaze like. So it's very thinned, and you just wash the orange. I tend just to do the raised orange, leaving all of the circle and the half, or no, sorry, the oval and the circle in the original with it washed down, so it looks a bit duller. And as you can see, it sits and it starts to dry, and you get a brighter orange coming through. You can do that a couple of times. sometimes it just looks as though you're rubbing water across the surface, but you're depositing a small amount of pigment which brightens the actual orange, like a level at a time sort of thing, so you don't mess it up. And what I'm going to do on this is just do the front edge as if it was brighter at the front. Yeah. And the red. Let's have a look. Bit of Evil Sun Scarlet. Again, GW. Again, small amount. There's only 2 little bits to do. Thin down quite a bit. Actually, a bit more than that. So it's really thin. If you were to paint it over black or anything like that, you would probably just see the black straight through it. You see the line straight through that. That's what you're aiming for. I'm going to give it a bit of a... I need to be careful on this because it's still wet. And as that dries, it looks gritty, it looks dirty. Clean that. And again, for a basic dial, probably an hour's work just to make your dial look a bit different. If you're doing a handful of them, probably 3 at the same time, it's probably not going to take much more. Tonight, in an hour and a half so far, we've managed to do Vader's tie and a dial cover. Again, just a basic quick dial cover. I'll probably look at doing some different ones next time, maybe do the same again. The only thing that we do after this is we seal it, because obviously it gets handled a lot, and we use an automotive acrylic matte spray that is very hard wearing, and it's reasonably priced as well. So obviously I'm not going to do that in the house because it stinks and people upstairs will kill me. Right, so we've done Vader's tie, done the dial. This dial, we will do a giveaway once I've posted this in, once it's released into YouTube. Put a comment on the bottom of it, just comment Rebel Dial. If you comment Rebel Dial, I'll put you into a hat or a cup or whatever, and next week live we'll do a draw for this one, and I'll look at doing another one. And I think that's all I've got on the table for today, so I'm going to cut it at an hour and a half. Next time, if anyone wants to see anything painted, any ideas of they want something, a quick demo of how to do it, a certain thing, just give us a shout. I have some bits and pieces. I'd like to get the masks on, get some masks shown. I did a job a couple of weeks ago for someone, and we did camouflage. So we have like a urban camouflage set that I want to use again, but I want to do it on a Thai Reaper that I've had sat here waiting to have it done. So I'm going to go for the black, grey and white urban camo on that, and I might do it live on air, nervously see how I can do that with people watching and stuff like that. So I hope you've enjoyed our first episode, and I can't believe how hard it is even for me to talk for an hour and a half. We'll look at the timings and how long these last for. Probably try for around about the hour and a half. If we get some big jobs in, maybe it's the 2 hour mark. But thank you for all your comments. Sorry I haven't been keeping an eye on them. As some of my friends will know, this has been really nerve-wracking for me. So I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching.